Okay, we're continuing our blitz of session recaps to get up to speed. I'm in the countryside right now, and I'm having my group over in a few days. We're going to play for 2 days straight. We'll probably play the equivalent of 4 sessions in 2 days. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I will post some recaps of those sessions, of course. So I wanted to give you the opportunity to follow the story of this campaign. I haven't been posting for a while because I'm working a lot these days. So now I'm just picking up speed and trying to come back strong. Okay, so let's go with session 43 of this Symbaroum campaign. The group has just left the house of Cargoy Salamos after a very tense discussion that could have devolved into violence. They decide in the snow. It's late afternoon, starting to get really dark again. The snow is not abating. The whole city is paralyzed. There's like a meter of snow in the street. The wind is very strong. It's a whiteout half of the time. So they decide to go see the mayor and to report to him what has happened lately. So they go there. It's pretty close to Cargoy's house, and they ask to meet him. It takes a while before he accepts because he has a cold. Yes, the cold. So I'm introducing the fact that this mayor has a weak immune system and often catches a cold. It will be useful later. For those who know the campaign, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so he receives them in a room with a hot wine and a broth, and he listens to their story. He tells them that these men, Cargoy Salamos, men and women, Cargoy Salamos, Cerex, Roya Garlaca, and all that they are heroes from the Great War, and that they are sort of sacred personas and very hard to confront without causing maybe a lot of turmoil in the populace. So they say that he doesn't want the PCs to confront them directly. What he needs is some proof that these people were complicit with the actions of the sellswords of the sun. Then they could do something about it. He gives them 10 thalers to each as a recompense. So the PCs take that in, go back to the shop, except Mirizin the barbarian, that goes back to the witch and familiar, because that's where he lives. So they all go to sleep. The next morning, Mikariol, the young Alberetor mage, and Beau, the goblin, go to see Big Basher because they had things to pick up. The mage takes back an armor, a heavy armor of barbarian make that he wants to use as his servant. And Beau buys a steel shield. During that time, in the shop, Lodemé, the Templar girl, is reading the chronicles of the knights that were taken in Cargoy's home, while Wild is preparing his clairvoyance ritual once again, with Edogai that is sort of helping him out. Edogai is studying some other tome, so we have a little nice moment there. Wild goes with his clairvoyance and the pipe and the smoke and this magical pipe from Symbarian times that helps divine, also sometimes creates visions in the smoke of the pipe, so that the person that is doing the clairvoyance ritual is not the only one to see the visions. The people around him can see things appear, very ghostly figures in the smoke. So Wild goes back to the house of Cargoy Salamos using this ritual. The house is empty. There's a guard always at the side of the entryway. The door to the kitchen is open, but Wild hadn't been in the kitchen while he was there, so he can't enter the kitchen, but he can get as close as he can. And he sees in the kitchen there's a little door that leads under the stairs that are going up. There's another door under the stairs, probably leading to a basement. He's watching that, And this little door is locked with a heavy padlock. Beau the goblin comes with Wild just to sort of help him also. So there are three people in this scene watching the visions in the smoke. Yeah, it's Beau. Yeah, I remember now. So the goblin was watching the clairvoyance of Wild. Wild was in the house of Cargoy Salamos, where the door with the padlock is, and he tried to call upon Prios. He has, I don't remember if it's a boon or something that he can use once per adventure and get an answer. So he's also doing a kind of divination. I think it's a boon. And so it's a one-time only thing. So that's when I gave him these visions, these fragmented visions of the finding of the absence of the water of the dusk, the fear in his eyes, the letter from a mysterious D that asks to take care of Sarvola. Those things are the goblin's vision. They're not from the clairvoyance spell. And the last vision that Beau sees is the front, the snowy front of the monastery of the Black Cloaks in Thistlehold. That is a hint that Baumelo is also aware, but they didn't pick up on that, the players. So Beau wakes up from his trance. Le Demé wonders what's going on. Beau is screaming what he said, what he saw. Everybody starts speculating on who is D. Is it Dolani, or is it Deméon Soleil, which would be much more ominous. Le Demé is really stressed out because that is the father of the church to whom she has sworn fealty. Le Demé is troubled, so she heads on to the temple to talk to Father Elfeno to get some counsel. She tells him everything except the discovery of the water of the dusk by Beau. She suspects that wouldn't go well. Elfeno is very serious and grave, and he says that maybe she should choose her side now, because she's sort of going on the side of the goblins and the ogres and the Ordo Magica, and maybe even Sarvola. And there's the side of the church, which is opposed to most of those things. Elfeno tells her in a very convincing manner that the fact that this city is full of greedy treasure hunters puts at danger the realm of Ambria, because these people don't know what they're doing and they bring back evil things from the forest, and it's the job of the priests to try to contain such evils, and eventually the job of the Templars to destroy them. Le Demé takes that in, but she of course goes to see Deceba the Old afterwards to get another point of view. She takes some tea with her, with the old saint, and the saint is also very, very angry. She says that Le Demé has failed her duty. She was asked to protect Sarvola, and the mission burned down. And she says that sometimes your true calling is to act with your sword in its sheath. It's not always about destroying and killing the enemy. Sometimes it's about protecting and assisting the weak. And so she asks of Le Demé a penance. She wants Le Demé to assist the woodcutters and the carpenters and the people that will rebuild this mission. She wants Le Demé to go to the forest and chop down trees and rebuild the mission. About Cargoy Salamos, she confirms that Cargoy is a big thing, and she says that the best way to get rid of him would be to have some evidence against him and be able to just blackmail him. So that's pretty surprising coming from a saintly woman. So Le Demé is sort of, oh yeah, that's how you see that. And so she's starting to understand that Deceba is actually a very proficient politician. Elfeno in the previous encounter had asked Lodemé to keep an eye out for Anadea, because Anadea, which was the initiate taking care of him, disappeared. And he wonders where she is. And he tells Lodemé, if you see her, bring her to me. So Lodemé tells that to Deceba, and Deceba says, yeah, we haven't seen her for a few days. Lodemé asks if she can check out her cell, and they do so. And they find the few clues, the few things, a portrait of something that looks like an elf or a changeling drawn by hand, a medallion of House Erebus, the image of 12 silhouettes around a well. So Lodemé steals the drawings but leaves the rest, and goes back to the shop and tells everything to the group. The existence of two factions in the Church of Prios is very surprising for Edogai and many others, because it's something quite secret. So after that, Wild and Beau explain what they want to do, the plan. So Beau will dress in white, and camouflaged in white will go stake out the house of Salamos. The others will be a bit further off, and Wild will snoop inside to see what's going on. They are planning to do that the next day. So the next day morning, the storm is a bit less violent. There's a little snow falling softly, but it's still not as windy. Beau goes to the house. There's smoke in the chimney. Some people see him in the house, and Wild at the same time goes with clairvoyance inside the house and sees in the study Kargoy. Kargoy is sitting in pajamas. He's lost in thought. The sacred book of Prios open in front of him. Serex Atio comes to meet him. He takes a sip of the wine glass of Salamos. But it's not wine, so he spits it out and asks if there's something else to drink. Kargoy tells him, we cannot leave these impertinents unpunished. Especially the mage Edogai that thinks that you can teach magic to an ogre. And have him all dressed up, walking around Thistlehold. And also the water of the dusk has to be taken back at all costs. And Serex answers, but the Templar should not be there. We should act without her being present, because they can't bring themselves to kill a Templar. And they stay quite thoughtful. Then Kargoy goes down to the kitchen. Wild is spying on him still. Wild doesn't really know what's going on in the kitchen, but at some point he sees the old man with meat, dead meat, venison in his hands, raw meat, opens the padlock of the little door under the stairs and goes downstairs with the meat. And at that point, Wild remembers that the sad man. Who is the sad man? When they had tried to discover who he was, they learned that when he came back from the war, he was not himself anymore, because he lost his wife and his daughter in the war. And that information comes back to Wild at that moment, and he understands that there's two undead ladies in the basement. And that's how we finish session 43. So that was wow. That was like a spooky reveal, and then we cut to black and see you next week. So that's how it ended for session 43. So thanks again for being there. Don't hesitate to comment if you want some more details, or if you want to just comment on the way I used the elements that are published by the game to create my own campaign. I hope it's of some use to you. I hope it can inspire some ideas for your own campaign. So keep it light, keep it bright, keep on gaming, have fun, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.